Well, today we're going to have a look at the King's Bush Mechanic Toolkit, and I'm going to tell you how good it is. Well, as some of you know, I'm planning on doing quite a big trip across the Great Central Road up to Darwin, back across the Gibb River Road and back down to Bustleton. It's going to be about 12,000 kilometres. Lots of that's going to be on the corrugations that we love to hate, so I thought I'd better have a look at the toolkit that I'm running in the ute. Now, a friend of mine bought the Adventure King's Bush Mechanic Toolkit, and even though some of the King stuff is pretty good, I was still a little bit dubious. I also have an issue with King's free freight because they don't deliver free freight to where I am, even though I'm only 2.5 hours out of the Perth CBD. And they don't tell you that it's not free until you've finished doing your order and you're actually just about to finish off the checkout, where they add a little sneaky freight charge, which is generally quite exuberant. That aside, I thought I'd have a look at his King's Toolkit because I had seen them online. To be perfectly honest, I really liked it. I actually thought that it was brilliant value for money. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that really like good quality tools. I like good quality tools as well, but I don't have many of them. I have a lot of very cheap tools that I've had for 20 plus years. And even though they're not the best, they generally do the job. So after having a good look through his King's Toolkit, I decided it was pretty good value for money and I was going to get one too. So let's have a look what comes in this King's Toolkit. For a start, you've got your breaker bar, which is fairly basic, doesn't look anything flash, but looks solid enough. Comes with a good set of Allen keys. I actually really like these. I've got the little ball on the end. I do prefer the Allen keys that go onto your 1/4" drive, but I mean, if you need an Allen key out in the bush, that is certainly going to do the job. Comes with a file, fair enough. It's a half round and got a flat front on it there. And it's also got a hacksaw. Got a nice set of wire strippers and crimpers, and to go with that you also have a set of crimps and some spare fuses. Pair of pliers, needle nose, pair of wire cutters, and interestingly enough a set of circlip pliers with some adjustable heads on them. Comes with a hammer, pair of vice grips, probably the best tool ever invented, and then it comes with a set of screwdrivers. I love the fact that these have the hex head on the top of them. That's really cool. There's a whole range of screwdrivers in there. Let's just tip them all out, why not? There you go. Just your usual range of flathead and Phillips head. And we've got the 1/2" drive socket set, which comes in a handy little bag. What I actually like about the socket set is that it goes all the way up to 32mm. That's actually pretty impressive for a cheap socket set. It's even got a long reach 21mm, which actually will fit a lot of wheel nuts, patrols for a start. I'm assuming Land Cruisers. It's got a knuckle joint in there as well, that's kind of cool. And then you've got a whole set of spanners. I'm not going to tip these out, but same thing, actually go up to 24mm, which is a decent sized spanner, and go right down to 8mm, which is kind of about as small as you're going to need working on your car. Now, the other thing that it comes with is this rip snorting little bag. Now, I mean, considering this thing's going to cost you 120 bucks, the bag is actually a really cool addition. Now, I've ripped mine already because I put it under the seats of the Patrol, and before I put the STS seats in, the DX seats were quite low and it's torn it. It's not a particularly strong looking bag, but it does have a nice metal frame in it. So it actually folds flat and sits under the seats of the ute really nicely. Now, a couple of things I've put in here extra. I've put in a 1/4" socket set, a wheel bearing kit for the boat trailer, because hey, you never know. I put a 1/2" drive extension in here, that's really important. A knife, some knead it steel polymer repair stuff, lots of electrical tape, some hose clamps, wire, battery terminals, winch hooks, a fuel cap, emergency fuel cap, and some drifts that are made up for doing wheel bearing races. So these are just old races that have been ground down. Of course, the old gaffer tape and some multi-grips, and obviously your array of cable ties and some random rubbish, that's important. Also some thread tape, can't have enough thread tape. So that's all I've got in here at the moment. I'm actually going to put in a little bit more wire because I don't think that's really sufficient. But it all fits in this existing bag really nicely and still fits underneath the seat of the Patrol. This here I think is absolutely exceptional value, and I used this toolkit just recently when I was down at the farm. I actually changed an old Briggs & Stratton, was it a 3.5 horsepower motor that was sitting on an old cultivator, and I had a new 6.5 horsepower Chonda that was on a go-kart. I actually changed the whole motor over from the go-kart to the cultivator using only the tools that were in the King's toolkit. I actually didn't use any of these extra things that I've put in here. Even the circlip pliers came in handy for that. The only tool that I needed that was not in this King's toolkit to change that motor over was a puller to get the old pulley off the shaft, because that was never going to come off with a hammer. So, you know, this stuff here I think is going to do you well out bush for most of your needs. But even if you just need a toolkit for home, this is actually really good value. And if you can pick it up somewhere without having to pay the freight on it, it's even better. So all in all, what can I say? Go get yourself one of these Adventure Kings Bush Mechanic toolkits. They are an absolute bargain, and the stuff in them is well thought out and pretty good quality.